thanks to everybody joining us this afternoon. Really appreciate it. Um, Super excited to have our friends in Brazil join us here. As Mark said, we're announcing pretty significant historic signing for not only the Hartford Athletic, but for the USL Championship. Renan Ribeiro is, as you will come to know him, an amazing athlete and an amazing goalkeeper, a core position that the Hartford Athletic need. We are super excited on behalf of Bruce Mandel and our owners and investors, our whole front office staff and technical staff. Welcome, Renan Ribeiro, to Hartford Athletic. We're super excited to have you join us. Renan and his wife and Eduardo, who's his representative, will be joining us here in person next week. We're going to have a reception and a special season ticket holder event and a meet and greet with Renan and his wife and Eduardo at Brignall Vineyards on Saturday the 18th at 4:00. That will be first time our season ticket holders will be able to meet and greet and maybe get an autograph. But you'll also see some video assets we have in the coming days of Renan. And just super excited to really start what's going to be a long bunch of announcements coming up, new players coming into the Hartford Athletic for the new season. We're very busy. David Goldstein's literally working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, looking at video. Our scouting network is out and about. We're spending enormous amounts of time looking at players, sourcing some new talent and re-signing some existing talent at the Hartford Athletic to put a winning product on the field. So this is kind of the start of all of it. It all starts, the great thing about goalkeepers is that we're the last line of defense and the first to start the attack. And so it's great to sign a player of this quality and this magnitude to start off what's going to be a complete overhaul and rebuild of this roster, starting with Renan as our goalkeeper. So welcome, Renan. Welcome, Eduardo. I want to thank both of you guys for your interest, and Eduardo, your help, especially in getting the Ribeiros up to speed with life in America and what playing football, soccer in America is all about. For those of you that maybe recognize Renan, he and Eduardo attended our last game of the season back on the 10th of October, and that really our great fans and our great stadium really helped recruit Mr. Ribeiro and his family to come join us here for next season. So thanks again. And with that said, I'll open it up to any questions from the group that's on the phone.
So if you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat, and I'll let you know when to go ahead. Michael, go ahead.
Renan, welcome to Hartford. And first off, thank you for taking the time to talk to the media ahead of this. I'm just curious, your last professional game was in 2020, and I'm just curious, what is it like to get back into a professional setting? I know you had a deal with Saudi Arabia last year, weren't able to see time on the field. What does it mean to get back into a professional sense and looking to get a lot of minutes in America going forward?
Eduardo, you want to try?
Already did that. Vamos falar depois. Boa tarde a todos. Estou muito feliz com essa oportunidade e ansioso já para estar em Hartford e já iniciar esse trabalho. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm very happy to talk to you. I'm very eager to go to Hartford and start this work. Eu estou no futebol desde meus 10 anos. I'm in soccer since I was 10 years old. E sempre fui profissional desde que eu saí de casa com 13 anos de idade. And I have always been a professional since I left my home with 10 years old to play in
Botafogo de Ribeirão Preto.
E sempre levei isso muito a sério. Então, talvez esse tempo que eu estou sem jogar, para mim não faz a diferença. Já tenho bastante jogos como profissional. Tenho uma responsabilidade de estreia com 17 anos como profissional.
And so that being said, I've been a professional and I have many games in my career. So this time that I don't actually play in official matches, it's not a problem because I have plenty of matches and plenty of experience to do that. Since I was 17, I was first goalkeeper.
Estou muito ansioso para começar a trabalhar com esse novo elenco, com estar nos Estados Unidos, no Hartford.
I'm eager to start working with this new roster, to be in Hartford, and to play in America.
E num projeto grande com pessoas sérias como Nick, como Bruce.
In a big project with serious people like Nick and Bruce and all the staff.
Isso me motiva ainda mais para poder ir fazer o meu melhor e poder ajudar o Hartford a alcançar novos objetivos dentro da liga, se tornar um clube grande, um clube que consiga almejar coisas grandes.
That motivates me even more to get great things with Hartford, get all the greatness that the club has and needs to achieve.
E acredito muito no trabalho, acredito que quando você inicia um trabalho sério, com clareza, com objetivo, a gente consegue chegar a alcançar coisas grandes dentro da temporada.
I believe in hard work, I believe in clarity of ideas, and I'm sure that if we do that, we could get great things for the coming season. Thank you.
Todd, go ahead.
Welcome to New England. It's great to have you. You have a great pedigree so far, playing in Sporting and playing in the top division in Brazil. New England has a large, very large Brazilian population. Have you had a chance to reach out to any of the Brazilian groups within the New England area as of yet?
Conheço muitos jogadores que estão na liga, jogadores que já jogou comigo em clubes e junto na seleção brasileira, como o Douglas Costa.
I know many Brazilians that plays in America, Douglas Costa and all that, former players that stood with me in different clubs. New England, actually, I don't know anybody, but sure, we'll find out. Do you have a second question?
I do not have a second question. Thank you very much for your time.
Joe D, go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome to Hartford. Were there other offers before you decided that Hartford was the right spot for you? And what impressed you most?
I think Joe was asking, were there other offers and what impressed Renan most about the opportunity to come here?
Eu tinha outras ofertas e o Hartford foi uma escolha para mim pelo tamanho do objetivo.
I had other offers, but Hartford was a choice for me because of the size of the objective that the club intends to achieve.
Gosto do desafio e encontrei uma segurança no Nick e no Bruce que isso me motiva, que sei que eles vão estar fazendo o melhor fora de campo. E agradeço pela confiança em saber que eu também quero fazer meu melhor dentro de campo para poder ajudar o Hartford.
I like challenges, and I really felt confident, secure about Nick, Bruce, and all the staff that I can achieve my maximum potential and help Hartford to reach his objectives in the new season.
Fiquei impressionado com torcedores.
I was impressed about the fans and about all I've seen when I was there, so that helped me on my decision.
Clube novo com muita paixão pelo clube.
A new club with fans very passionate about it.
E eles merecem uma ótima temporada.
They deserve a great season.
Isso
that motivates me. Thank you.
Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah, so again, welcome to Hartford and congratulations on signing. I'm just wondering, you mentioned other offers on the table. What did those initial conversations?
I
Nathan,
missed
cut
you.
out there.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, we could not understand.
Is he still on, Mark?
He's still on. Nathan, feel free to type your question in the chat and I can relay it if that's
Yeah.
easier.
Like when you were being signed, and what attracted you about playing soccer in America?
Futebol na América.
É uma liga nova, uma liga nova onde o futebol vem evoluindo e se hoje o melhor do mundo joga essa liga, porque eu teria dúvida em querer ir para os Estados Unidos e poder talvez competir contra ele.
It's a new league for me. It's soccer in America. It's keeps getting better. You have Messi, MLS, and so I wanted to be a part of soccer in America, of sports in America, and leave my mark as well.
Michael, I know you said you had a follow-up question for Nick.
Yes. First of all, Nick, Mike Batista, Hudson River Blue. I was just wondering, could you talk about the decision Hartford made to bring in Renan while you're still searching for a head coach? Because you just announced at the end of last month that the search had just begun, or that the opening had just become available, and the search was just beginning. Usually, a player of this caliber, you'd wait for a head coach to come in. Could you talk about like why the team jumped on this, and maybe also update on how the coaching search is going?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. As you could tell, just from this brief dialogue with Henna, that we have a very highly motivated goalkeeper. And to answer your question, David Goldstein at GFG, myself, and the folks that are here, we know this position extremely well. I mean, I personally have worked and recruited players like Andre Blake and Tim Howard, and the list of goalkeepers throughout my career goes on and on. It's a position we know. Danny Gaspar, probably the preeminent, goalkeeper expert in this part of the world, and globally, was extremely helpful in, identifying the talent specifically to this position. And we know, like, it was no secret, the Hartford Athletic leaked a tremendous amount of goals. I think we led the league in the amount of goals given. So we needed to anchor the position as soon as possible. And really, at the end of the day, the opportunity, when opportunity shows itself, you don't schedule opportunity. Opportunity schedules you. And when this opportunity came about through our network, we have a deep network globally, and this opportunity showed itself, and we decided to make a very important decision by taking advantage of that opportunity to bring up the quality that Henna provides us, and the experience. Henna's 33 years old, and that is the height of a goalkeeper's career. Usually strikers and field players are kind of beginning the downside at 33, but in goalkeeping years, it's smack in the heart of the height of a goalkeeper's career at that age. And 6'3", and you can tell from the video, and you'll see in person next week, he is one fit guy. So, and healthy. Part of bringing him here was not just to attend our last game of the season, but also put him through medical tests and do all that evaluation. And we're getting a hell of a specimen at the height of his career, who's got a pedigree and an ability to really lead our team. And the person of Renan Ribeiro also matters. Like, he is a great person, a person of character and leadership quality. And Hartford Athletic needs leadership in the locker room, on the pitch and off the pitch. And that was all part of the decision making that went into taking advantage of this opportunity when it presented itself. On the coaching search, I'm heartened to know that 33 years in the business has its benefits. And after the announcement last week with Omid, my phone exploded, to be frank, with a lot of people that I haven't worked with or talked to in many years, but I know, and they know me. And it's very heartening at this point in my career to know that there's a lot of people out there that want to be part of this project. And I'd like to think it's not just about me, but this project has an amazing potential and opportunity, with a new training ground being developed across the street from our offices, with the investments that Bruce is making in the club, both at the stadium and here at our offices, with new infrastructure to support the team, a new training facility, and great partners over at the Day Hill Dome, which is going to be the permanent home of the Hartford Athletic Training Center and our youth academy. So lots of really positive things happening here. And I think the word's getting out that Hartford Athletic is the place to be for coaches, for players. And it's an exciting time to be part of the Hartford Athletic.
Thank you.
Well, Nathan's connection was a little spotty. I'm going to relay the first part of his question to Hena, was just what were the initial conversations like in terms of coming to Hartford when the conversations first started?
Eu acho que foi amigos em comuns em Portugal que me procuraram e começaram uma pré-conversa sobre ir para os Estados Unidos. Depois, até então, não sabia o que era. E logo em seguida, ao passar das semanas, foi e falaram que era sobre o Hartford. E logo tive a oportunidade de ir conhecer para estar vendo de perto. E quando eu cheguei e vi o estádio, vi a paixão dos torcedores, a grandeza do Nick, da forma como o Hartford vem crescendo e evoluindo, eu não tive dúvidas, porque é um projeto que me conquistou e é um projeto que eu estou bastante motivado, entusiasmado para iniciar o quanto antes e poder. Acredito que vencer pelo Hartford vai ser grandioso, tanto para minha vida profissional.
The talks started with mutual friends in Portugal that introduced the idea of him for playing in America. And then he got to know Nick, and the conversations were evolving. And then I went to America. When I looked at the project, I knew Nick in person, I knew the fans, and I talked to Bruce, and then I saw the greatness of the project that Hartford is planning to build. That was a decision made for me. And so I wanted to take part of it, and I'm eager to start taking part of it and I'm ready for next season.
Thanks, Eduardo. Mark, I'd just like to jump in and add a couple of things to Hena's response there. And I want to take a moment and thank Nuno Moutinho and Felipe Saracaya. Felipe is the head coach of the Sporting B team, and Nuno Moutinho is a longtime friend, former president of Estoril in Portugal, and a very longtime friend and colleague in the business. And those two guys recommended or suggested that we connect with Hena and Eduardo to get to where we are today. So I want to take a moment and thank both of those guys. They're awesome friends, and we really appreciate them stepping in and making this recommendation.
Yeah, Nathan actually had one more follow-up question for you, Nick, that had a lot to do with that. If you want to elaborate a little bit more, he was just wondering, but how this opportunity to bring in a player like Henna came about internationally and getting a big goalkeeper like this. How did it begin?
Yeah, it all started with a phone call from Nuno to me. Nuno Matinho is, like I said, former president of Estoril and a good friend, and has been involved in a variety of soccer projects with me before GFG and now with GFG. Actually, Nuno will be here on Thursday visiting us. He called me and said, "Hey, a good friend of mine is the head coach of Sporting B here, and he has some interesting talent that he's been involved with in the past, and then connected me with Felipe. We had a great conversation, um, and Felipe now has turned into a close colleague as well. So I think you'll probably be seeing both of those guys hanging around the Hartford Athletic in the future. But it really started with those two, and then, of course, we deployed our scouting network, our player identification process, which David Goldstein leads. Omid and Danny were involved in scouting Henna and looking at his capabilities, and the rest is history.
All right. If we have any more questions, feel free to throw them out there now. If not, then we'll wrap things up if there's no more questions. All right. Sounds good to me. Well, thank you all for joining. It's a really exciting announcement for us. We have recorded this and we will send it out in a email to all of you who have joined for your reference. And thank you all for joining, and we'll be sending out more updates on player signings and announcements and a coaching announcement in the coming weeks and throughout this off season. So thank you all again, and welcome Henna to Hartford Athletic, and Henna will be in town next week. So thank you all again.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mark. Bye, Anna. Bye, Eduardo.